All right, so you're considering multifamily syndications as a viable alternative to the stock market, which is great. Now, what should you be concerned about? What do you need to pay attention to? In other words, what am I getting myself into? What do I need to learn? And things like that. So here's kind of the top concerns of what you need to be paying attention to. The first thing to be concerned about, obviously, is don't lose money. All right, now, this is kind of an obvious thing, but the most important thing is you don't want to lose capital. Now, especially in multifamily, losing capital is the probability of that happening is not very high. What's more likely to happen is you're not going to make the money that you think you're going to make, which is bad enough. But losing capital is really, really bad. So really don't lose money. And rule number 2 is see rule number 1. Okay, it's just as fundamental as that. You really want to consider the downside of whatever sponsor or investment you're making. You want to look at the downside. Yes, the returns are always going to look great, and most likely they're going to be great. But you're more concerned about looking at the downside. So you're looking at the risk. What are the risks, and what is the sponsor doing to mitigate those risks? So it's capital preservation first and foremost. Now, here's some other things to consider. Number 1, or number 3 in this case, is your own knowledge. You really have to educate yourself a little bit. You don't have to become a multifamily investing expert, okay? But you have to educate a little bit, and it's because you need to be concerned about 2 things. One is the sponsors. What I mean by that is, how much experience does the sponsor have? What kind of track record does the sponsor have? How well do they communicate with you? How do you like their team? Do you like and trust them? Have they been through any kind of, have they been through challenging times before, financially or personally? How do they deal with that? So you're going to be concerned about the sponsor first and foremost, and then number 5 is you're going to be concerned about the investment itself. So is it a fit for your financial goals? Are the returns a fit? Is the kind of asset, the location, the kind of distributions, the minimum investment, does it fit your goals? How much control do you have in the deal? How conservative is the underwriting of the deal? How are you being protected from kind of possible market downturn, from any kind of risks? And what is your capital return? How credible is the exit? So those are kind of the 5 things that your concern is for, really, is capital preservation is number 1. Really educating yourself so you understand how to find and evaluate sponsors and how to evaluate an investment. So we're going to deal with a lot of these things here in future blog posts and videos and things of that nature, kind of help you educate. But from a high level perspective, those are the things you should be paying attention to.